Hello everyone, this is Helen H. and welcome to my channel, Moss Cottage. I hope everyone is doing well today. It is a little bit later than I'm usually making a video, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit shadowy. I do have to have a ring light on because it's just too dark without it. So I thought today that I would do a little collage work, but something a little bit different that I saw Roben Marie Smith do. And I'm working in my salvage journal, and this is the one that has the cute chenille that Birdie, the recycled hippie chick, sent me. And this is the old Reader's Digest book. So I have here my boxes of bits. I've got this little food container with just tiny, tiny little bits in it. Those are the very last pieces. Then I've got the little bit bigger pieces, and then I've got one that has this basket right here that has bigger still pieces. So I thought I would do the collage in here, and let me find a page that I think it will work on. And if you hear some meowing, that's because Miss Holly just walked in the room. And let's see where we're gonna work. I'm just going through to see, let's see here. This one, I mean, why not, right? Why not? Or this one. Let's use this one right here. Well, that one's really cool. I don't know if I want to cover that completely up. All right, this one. We're just going to pick one. It's going to be this one. Let me just grab a clip here so that I can see, and you can see what I'm doing here. Grab another one for this side, just to keep it open. So we're going to work on this one. Now this page is a little bit short here. So what I might do is just reach behind me and grab a piece of, this is parchment paper. It's not deli paper. I don't know what the difference between parchment paper and deli paper is. I don't have deli paper. And I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so we're going to do this page right here. So what I'm going to start with is probably just some bigger pieces. So I'm going to use the bigger scrap box here. And I mean, not huge pieces. As you can see, I already have some paper here. This is book page that I had black marks on. And then this is a piece of under paper that I just ripped. And I just put some stuff on some of these pages just to have a starting point. So I didn't have like the blank, the white page syndrome or whatever. So I'm just going to get out some papers, and I'm not even saying I'm going to use these. I'm just grabbing some different, papers out of here. And we might do some other mark making and so on and so forth on here. So if you saw my video, I think it might have been my last video, I'm not sure, where I used this piece of yellow paper. I think it might have actually been in one of these pages. I don't remember. But anyway, and I didn't know what it was. I said, oh, it's some kind of diagram, that's for sure. But I didn't know what the diagram was for. I figured it out because I found the rest of it. It was a diagram of my garden, what I was going to put in the garden. All right, so what I want to do is I kind of want to... yeah, I'm going to be covering some of this up here. And do I want to do it with that? Or maybe put some more book page? No, let's do some more book page here. This is the Cane Mutiny of all things. Let's see here if I put that on there. Okay, so now this little piece gets put in a different box because we don't throw that away, right? So let me get my glue stick here. So while I'm working on this, oh gosh, and I can see my glue stick's almost gone. My husband had off today, so he took off the day so we could do something fun together. So we went to the cafe where I usually go with my girlfriend, and we had breakfast there in town, and that was fun. But then we decided we were going to go take a drive because when we were looking for a cabin, we looked at one and it was kind of cute and everything, but what the realtor who was listing it didn't show was that okay, this is all just like scrapbook paper scraps, like cut off pieces. So what the real estate agent didn't show in the picture when we went to look at it was that it had in the backyard, like, oh gosh, I don't know, 7 little outbuildings very close to the house, like 10 feet or 10 feet from the house and then back. There were all these outbuildings. I don't know if they were chicken coops or what they were, but they were all decrepit and there was just stuff growing all over them and just really nasty. And to cut them down would have, or take them down and haul everything away would have cost a fortune. So that, yeah, really turned us off. And it was a shame because that property had potential. The yard was actually quite nice, but besides those buildings. So anyway, you know, that was a no-no. But we were just interested to see, because it did sell like not long after we had looked at it. It did actually sell. And we wanted to see if the new owners had taken those awful buildings away. So we decided to take that drive today to go look if those awful buildings have been taken away. And so we get around, it's around the corner, like you go around the corner and there it is. So we couldn't see it, and my husband said, oh, I think there it is right around the corner. Yeah, there it was. The people who have it now added more junk to the yard. It was awful. Now there was like a camper van in the front, and it looked like a junkyard. I was like, oh, okay, so I guess those buildings didn't bother those people. It looked terrible. So I guess it didn't bother them that it had those junky buildings in the back. But, you know, when we were looking at it, the funny thing was, we were out back and see these buildings, like all of these buildings were very close to the house, but then behind the house there was a tree, like a stand of trees, and it was very flat and a nice stand of trees, not too thick, you know, you could put a picnic table under there or whatever. Then some more flat land, and then a creek, and then it went up the side of the mountain, and it was really quite lovely, but not with those buildings right close to the house. So that was a shame. But anyway, so we did that, and then we saw, you know, that wreck of a house, and we were like, okay, so that's what happened. And oh, okay, so this goes all the way out here. For some reason, I thought it was right here where this line was. Okay, that's good. That's just okay, that's fine. My little waterfall is here. Now, this isn't like a waterfall thing that you put in a journal where you're going to lift it up and you're going to write underneath it or put pictures or anything. This is just I'm just doing this to make texture on the page, if that makes any sense. But anyway, so after we did that drive, the roads that we had to do this loop thing, so we had to go into West Virginia. And it was quite a long ride, but, you know, it took us into West Virginia, and then it took us past Green Bank. And so put in the comments, anybody who has been to Green Bank, West Virginia, I have to know this. So Green Bank is where there is the largest radio telescope in the world. And it is large. The actual receiver on a telescope, a radio telescope, which is like a big dish. It's like a big round dish, and then that is collecting the radio waves coming out of space, and then that reflects the radio waves up to like a receiver, like the bowl things here, and then there's a small receiver here. But this whole thing is whatever. So this telescope, radio telescope, no lie, look it up if you don't believe me, is as big as a football field. This is why it's the biggest one in the world. And it was, when was this one built? In 1920, I think. I mean, no, 2020, I think this new one was built. They've had telescopes, radio telescopes on this site since the 50s, I believe. This was one of these things where the government came in and I don't quite understand this because the government apparently came in and kicked everybody off by eminent domain, you know, which supposedly they have the right to do, right? So they needed the land, so they kicked off the families who lived there. And there's still, you can still see the barns and stuff. It's really quite sad. But anyway, so they did that and kicked everyone off to use this, oh, I know why. I think I know why. No, I don't know why. Anyway, this whole project, like the big telescope that's there now, it's not paid for by taxpayer money. It is paid by private funds. SETI, if you know what they are, they pay a lot. And then there's something else, another group who pays for this upkeep on this the telescope cost $100 million when it was built. And I'm thinking, there's better ways to spend $100 million because the whole point of this telescope is to listen for aliens. So I was like, I hope this isn't government money funding this because this is ridiculous if it is. It's been there for they've had telescopes on Green Bank site for 60 years and have never been able to prove that they've heard anything, any aliens. So I'm thinking, well, that's a big waste of money. But anyway, it's kind of creepy though, because when we were there, they were doing, we got there just a little bit after noon, and there was a tour at noon, and I said to my husband, I said, oh darn it, we just missed the tour, because you have to take a bus out to the big football field sized telescope, radio telescope. So see what I'm doing? I'm just putting in like collage, but it's just like it's layered just to make some texture and stuff. So now I'll just probably decorate around, you know, do some decorating around here. But anyway, so they were doing maintenance on it today, so it was actually off when we went to see it. It wasn't tracking anything. But the lady, because it was noontime when we got out to the telescope, the gates were open. She said, you can go to the gates, but you can't go through the gates. So, you know, we were looking at this big ginormous thing. And then I guess the workers who were doing the maintenance on it had come back from lunch. But it's like all these white pickup trucks, the same. They look exactly the same with no markings, come racing up through the gates and everything. And then these guys get out, and there's elevators that they have to take on the outside of the telescope to go up into it. It's just, I mean, it is, I told my husband, because I don't believe in aliens or anything, that's just not my thing. I mean, I can't say they are or aren't, but anyway, I'm not going to waste my energy on it, let's put it that way. But I told my husband, if nothing else, because I don't, you know, I'm not really into the other things. I said, if nothing else, it is a engineering marvel when you see how big this thing is. And it it's on 16 wheels, so this thing weighs, like, I don't know how many millions of pounds this thing weighs. But each wheel has to have over 1 million pounds on it. And it rotates on like a round track going round and round, so the dish can, it pivots back and forth, and then it rotates around so it can go 360 degrees, and then the dish can move position, you know, also, if that makes sense. Anyway, it was just something, you know, that we did. And but if it turns out that most of the funding comes from that thing, from private sources, like these billionaires who don't have a lot of anything else to do, fund a lot of it. And but apparently NASA has used it recently because you can rent time. I mean, places, if you had a project that you wanted to do and you needed that telescope, radio telescope, you could rent it. And so apparently NASA used it, I don't know, this year. I don't think it was this year. I think it was last year or maybe the year before. I don't know. But anyway, they used it to, here's a pretty piece that has like some greens and pinks, and I don't know, my light is so stinky. I don't know if you can see that there's some greens and pinks on there. But anyway, they used it to get information. If you ever heard that recently NASA, like I'm going to say the last couple of years, because I don't know exactly when it was, they shot a missile or something like a missile, a rocket or a missile, at an asteroid to see if they could knock it off course, and just to see if there was a chance, if a asteroid came to the United States, or towards the Earth, sorry, not the United States, towards the Earth, would they be able to knock it off track so it wouldn't hit the Earth. And apparently they did hit the asteroid. This was not an asteroid that was headed for Earth, but it was close enough that they could reach it. And they were able to, now the lady who gave the tour said, oh, and you know, and they did hit it, they blew it up and everything. And my husband said, that's not true, they didn't. They did hit it, but they knocked it off its orbit by about 1 degree. And that's enough to, over the, you know, hundreds of thousands of miles it would have to travel to Earth, that was enough to throw it off its trajectory, that it wouldn't have hit Earth. So anyway, so there was that. I mean, that came out of it, and that was okay. But anyway, so I know that's a lot of information about Green Bank, and it was interesting. It was a nice day. It was pretty outside. It was, I think this is from a quilt magazine, but I kind of like this side here where it's kind of the green muted colors. I'll make a little tab here. Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of information. I'm sorry about that if you're not interested. I'm sorry. It's cool to see though, because it is just huge. It's massive. And they did have a very good exhibits, like, you know, where like a museum exhibit area with all these hands-on things to do, and you could learn about radio waves and all of this kind of stuff. So that was okay. We played with some of that stuff. This is just like a pink, and there is some pink in this painty paper here, so I'm just kind of picking up some pink to put in here, although that's not really the same pink. I'm gonna leave it. I mean, maybe I can use that, but let me see if there's something else in here that's a little bit closer to that color pink. Oh, is that a better pink? I think this one works a little better. This is just a little dots. Anyway, so we had a good day. We did eat lunch at the place, and had a nice drive back. It was very pretty today. I think it was like 50 degrees today, which is fairly warm considering what temperatures we have been having. Yesterday didn't even get to freezing. So, yeah. So that's what we did today. We weren't planning to go to Green Bank, but we ended up there. It's like, yeah, we said we always wanted to go, and so we did. And that was that. Okay, so I'm just going to, I've got this other little pink piece here, and I'm thinking where I might want to put it. I'm just making this weird little collage thing, but I think it's kind of cute. I like this texture here, and I'll hold it up again so you can see it. I like that, but I don't like that these little pink things are so thick on the side, so I'm going to thin it up a little bit and then put some glue on it and attach it. So yeah, so we did that. So then we got home, I did a little bit of cleaning, took a nap. Well, first I took a nap, and then did a little bit of cleaning, took a shower, and now I'm playing. and talking to you guys. Okay, all right, I think that's, where am I time-wise? 20. I'm gonna go into 2 videos for sure, but that's okay. So maybe I'll add a few more little details. And then I thought maybe what I would do is get out, there's a tiny little piece of this pink. Where could I put that? I don't know. Okay, that goes in the tiny bits. Tiny bits. Tiny bits. I thought maybe I would go to get some marking, coloring stuff out or something. So look, I mean, this is so fun. I like this collage. See how these are lifted up here? And this one here. I got the little tabby things here. I love this. This is a cool idea. All right, so let's see here. Oh, here's some, oh, the back of that pink I didn't use was this black and white envelope. I kind of want to put something in here because there's really nothing there. Let's put a piece of this here. For no other reason than let's put it there. And didn't I say we were going to stop putting stuff on? Oh no, but then I changed my mind. Okay, okay. Come on, glue. I just had it out here. Okay. Gonna go that way? I don't know. Okay. Okay, let's see what else. This is a very colorful, busy page, but I don't mind that. I kind of like it. I can hear Holly. She was up here running around, and I don't know what her issue is now. She's downstairs telling Mr. Hauser that I'm a bad mommy because I'm ignoring her. Let's see here. This has some nice bright pink on it. Let's take a little bit of this. This is just like wallpaper behind, I think that was a sofa or something from a design magazine. So even these tiny little pieces really do add to the collage. You know, you can get really tiny and intricate with these. I think then I'll put one more element on, and then we're gonna maybe do some other mark making. I think I'd like to put, see I have that little round tab here. I think I'd like to put one of those on one of these. So let's see what we've got. I'm looking in my tiny bits again. It's so much easier if you have a tiny bits box. I know. I honestly did this. I sat and sorted my scraps into sizes so that, okay, I'm going to use this. This is it black? It's like a gray and white check. Like it looks like maybe the end of a graph paper, some kind of graph paper or something. And I love these shapes. When you cut out the circles, I love to have those shapes. Now, where did it go? There it is, right there. Let me just, where is my ink? I'm just going to ink the edges of this because it's light and it might get lost if I don't. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink the edges of here. And I think I'm going to put it maybe on this one right here, the second waterfall-y thing. I love this. I really do. I really love doing this little collage where these pieces aren't completely glued down like that. Okay, so you see that? All right, so now I'm going to do some mark making. Make sure I get the cap on that. So let me I have my bag here with my stuff in it. Let's see what we got that we can do some mark making. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out. This is my pens and stuff. And where are my watercolor crayons? Right here. Okay. I really like that the way it is, but what I want to do, what we all like to do is to, oh, I actually don't have a pencil in here. I have my Stabilo. Maybe I could use that a little bit. Let's do that. Okay, let me get that out of, I don't need my little bits, so I'm just gonna push the little pots back a little bit so I can move this so you could see. I hope you could see that. Oh, my clip came off. Did I have it on at all? I don't think I need it, that wax paper or parchment anymore because I'm gonna be drawing now. So I thought maybe with the Stabilo, I might just do some, you know, the random pencil mark making, just like that. And then let's get my paint pen here, or my paintbrush here, and just kind of activate it a little bit, just so you can see it a little bit more. I brushed off too much water, I think, because I like the black lines. Can you see that I have, oh yeah, you can, that I have a cloth there. That's what I keep doing. If my arm keeps going out of the screen, it's just because I'm putting my brush in water and then just gently wiping it off. I don't want to soak the page. So just like that, just to add some black, some more black throughout it. I kind of like that. Okay. Let's see if I come down this side. Okay. So that just added a little bit of black there. And then let's just go ahead and take some watercolor crayons. Ugh. Come on. If I can open them. All right. And just do a little bit more just in spots coloring. So let's use this blue color and I'm just going to go into like, just do some scribble. Because why not, right? Just some scribble colors, some here and some there. Can you see with my big fat hand? Maybe if I do it that way, you could see a little bit better. Just like that, and some here. And let's get that pen out again. And, you know, if you don't want it watery, you can just leave them, you know, nobody says you have to use water with watercolor crayons. You can always just, you know, use them like that. They look good like that too. I just want to soften the edges a little bit. So I'm just coming in and activating them a little bit. But I really don't think I'm going to add it too much more because I'm actually quite liking the way it looks. But I do have this bright, is this like magenta? Purple? This isn't purple. Let me see, I have to see what color. No, it is not purple. I don't know why this is purple. I don't know why this says purple, but it's not. So I'm just going to do a little bit more scribble. I'm going to take this off and hopefully you'll be able to see still. Do a little bit scribble, just adding color here and there. Okay, and then doing the same thing, softening it up with the water. And that can go even right underneath that. Maybe I'll do that. Let me get a little bit more of this. I'm going to come underneath this where I lifted it up. I know you're going to say, well, you're putting it underneath there. You're not going to be able to see it, but you'll see a little bit of it sticking out like that. See how it's coming out from underneath there? I kind of like that. Oh, okay. I was watering down here. That wasn't even where I put it. It was up here. I was like, I know there were like 3 places I put this red. It's up here. Okay. I actually like that. I think that's pretty cool. I'm just wondering. No, okay, I was going to say, should I do some stamping on it? But no, I'm not going to do stamping on it. What I am going to do, I'm not doing stamping on it for one reason. I don't have any stamps and ink on my desk. But I think what I am going to do is take a micron, one of my microns. This is the 0.8. I have to test this. That is really thick. I don't want that one. I need a small, a small one. And if I can't find one, I will 0.1. That's much smaller. Let's see here. Yeah, that's much smaller. Okay. I was going to say, I'd use my Stabilo if I didn't. What I'm going to do is just do some scribbly. And I'm going to show you because my hand, I know my hand's in the way. But I'm just doing some scribbly marking too. Everything that you put on, see what I do? I do this all the time. Did I just wreck this one? Ugh. Okay. I think it's okay. I think it's, no, okay, that one's not going to work. Let me get another one. Let me get my Sharpie. Every little thing you do adds more texture and layer. Oh gosh, my Sharpie's not going to work either. Come on, guys. I don't know what's on here that is making it not want to draw. Everything should be dry. Okay. Okay, I actually like that the way it is. I think it's really cool. So there it is. You see my little waterfall-y things here with all the little bits and the little tiny bits, and then we used the markers, not the markers, the watercolor crayons, and added some colors. I like it. I think it's a beautiful mess. I really do like it, and I'll try to get a good picture of it for the thumbnail in case you can't see this. I want you to see all the markings and stuff and all the layers and stuff. There. I think you could see that, right? Okay. Well, guys, I hope you like this video. I give this a try by doing this little waterfall type effect and putting some tabs on it if you want to. You know, whatever you want to do to decorate it and everything. And just, I highly recommend, if you're going to do collage, to somehow, I mean, these are just literally food containers that were clean. I mean, they're not greasy or anything. To sort your scraps into different sizes because it makes it so much easier. And this is my favorite one, though. Oh, come on, my feathers are falling down. Stay up there. This is my favorite one, the one with all the tiny bits in it. But when you cut it down from one, you put it into the next one. And then, you know, it's easy when you do collage. I used to have everything in this one right here, and it's just so hard to go through it. So now it's only really bigger size pieces or longer strips that are in this one. And then these guys can just sit right in there. And then I also have my little bag of fabric scraps right there. So at the top of my desk is all that stuff. So I hope you liked this, guys, this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I ask that you do. Welcome to all my new subscribers, and hello to all my lovelies who have been with me for a long time. I hope you are all doing well. For those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, I hope that you're staying warm. I know a lot of us have had some really unseasonably cool weather lately. And then I hope all my Southern Hemisphere friends are having a beautiful spring as we go into our, well, they're getting into summer as we're getting into winter. So guys, until the next video, I hope you all are truly blessed. Bye-bye.